Welcome to Goddesses. I'm your host, Blair Minerva. Today on Goddesses, what if the very thing that makes you feel like an outsider is the key to changing the world? Today, witness how Michelle Obama transformed the sting of otherness into a superpower, and ask yourself, what hidden strength lies within your perceived weaknesses? The auditorium falls silent as Michelle Obama takes the stage. Not at the White House, but at a small high school in Chicago's South Side. Her shoulders carry a familiar tension, one you might recognize if you've ever felt like an outsider looking in. The lights illuminate her face, and in that moment, you see something remarkable. Even after reaching the pinnacle of American influence, she still bears the weight of someone fighting to belong. The question hangs in the air. How does someone who has achieved everything still carry the burden of otherness? More importantly, what if that very feeling of being different holds the key to changing the world? Picture Chicago's South Side in the 1960s. A young Michelle Robinson sits in her family's modest apartment, a space that feels smaller with each passing year. Her father battles multiple sclerosis, dragging himself to work at the city water plant every morning, refusing to let illness define his children's future. Her mother, Marion, watches over Michelle and her brother Craig with fierce determination, instilling in them an unshakable belief that education is their ticket to something more. You see this family's struggle reflected in countless others today. The stakes aren't just about personal success. They're about breaking generational cycles of limitation. In her childhood bedroom, Michelle builds fortresses of books around herself. While other kids play double dutch in the streets below, she loses herself in pages that promise wider horizons. The neighborhood kids nickname her teacher's pet, but there's something deeper brewing in her quiet dedication. You might recognize this solitude, this feeling of being different, but watch closely. She's not just studying to escape. She's preparing to return and lift others with her. The marble halls of Princeton University might as well be another planet. Michelle walks these corridors in 1981, one of few Black students in a sea of privilege. Each achievement comes with an asterisk, each success shadowed by unspoken questions about whether she truly belongs. But here's where the story shifts. Instead of trying to fit in, she begins to question why the spaces themselves are so narrow. You see her organizing minority student groups, mentoring others who feel out of place. Her outsider perspective becomes a lens for seeing what needs to change. Fast forward to 2009. The White House bustles with unprecedented energy as Michelle launches Let's Move. The initiative targets childhood obesity, but beneath the surface lies a deeper mission. You hear the whispers of opposition, see the resistance from food industry giants and political adversaries. But Michelle sees something they don't. Every child deserves to feel at home in their own body, their own school, their own future. If you're enjoying Goddesses, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, Be an Unstoppable Woman. Lead without apology using quiet power tactics from influential females like Oprah, Malala, and RBG. Now, back to the episode. Watch her hands sink into the soil of the White House garden. This isn't just about growing vegetables. Each seed she plants challenges decades of processed food culture. Each harvest proves that change can take root in the most unlikely places. The garden becomes a living metaphor for her vision, nurturing growth in spaces where others see only limitations. When critics mock her initiatives as overreach, when media outlets scrutinize her every move, she responds not by retreating but by digging deeper. You see her expanding, Let's Move, into schools nationwide, launching Let Girls Learn globally, creating Reach Higher to promote education. Each program springs from that same well of understanding what it means to feel excluded. The words ring out during the 2016 Democratic National Convention, but they carry the weight of countless smaller battles. Michelle faces a barrage of racist comments, gendered criticism, and attempts to diminish her achievements. They call her angry, unpatriotic, question her right to reshape American institutions. But watch closely. Her response transforms the very meaning of belonging. Instead of seeking acceptance, she creates new spaces where others can thrive. Her vulnerability becomes her strength, her outsider status a platform for expanding what's possible. Today, the impact of her initiatives ripples across continents. Let Girls Learn has reached millions of young women in developing nations. School cafeterias serve healthier meals. College attendance rates among minority students have risen. But these aren't just statistics. They're proof that feeling like an outsider doesn't mean you don't belong. It means you see what needs to change. Back in that high school auditorium, Michelle stands surrounded by students of all backgrounds. The tension in her shoulders has transformed into something else: purpose. She's not here despite feeling different. She's here because of it. This isn't just Michelle Obama's story. It's a challenge to you. That feeling of being different, of not quite fitting in. It's not a weakness to overcome. It's a perspective that lets you see what others miss, a drive that pushes you to create change where others accept the status quo. Look at your own life. Where do you feel like an outsider? What if that very feeling is showing you what needs to change? What if your difference is actually your gift to the world? The question isn't whether you belong. It's what you'll build with the unique perspective you bring. The lights dim, but the challenge glows brighter. In a world that often demands conformity, your difference might be exactly what's needed. How will you use your outsider's view to create spaces where others can belong? This is your moment. Plant your seeds of change. The garden is waiting. On the next episode of Goddesses, empowered by Michelle Obama's journey from the South Side of Chicago to the White House, we've witnessed how personal struggles can ignite transformative change. But what if those struggles were your compass, guiding you through life's darkest moments? This week, we'll meet another remarkable woman whose inner strength not only defined her, but also shaped an entire nation. Stay tuned to discover Clara Barton's extraordinary tale of resilience and compassion, as she too fought against societal norms to found the American Red Cross. Prepare to be inspired by how she turned her personal darkness into a beacon of hope. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, Be an Unstoppable Woman. 7 days, 7 iconic women. Master the art of quiet power, lead without apology, and turn femininity into your greatest weapon. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/GOD. Thanks for watching.